Welcome to Master Classes for Retirement Living. So first of all, I'd like to introduce Anne Frank. She is one of our marketing counselors here in the community. And Claudia Scheibel is also a marketing counselor. And Barb Dull is with us. She's our third marketing counselor at the community. And to the right, you'll see one of our favorite places here in the community for the residents, and it is the Light Horse Lounge. Newly remodeled, and you will see there towards the back, it actually has a nice bar in it. And to the left, there is a wine wall in a little area where we have banquet seating. And then just a beautiful place to sit and enjoy and be with people as you enjoy a drink before dinner or after dinner. And here we are with our Masterclass 201, and it's called Financing Your Future. So as we said on our first one, that really we are planned and programmed as we go through life. We go to school, we go to college or a trade school. We also then may get married or find a life partner and settle down and take a job and really work through. And then all of a sudden you turn around and the years have passed and you're ready for retirement. But there is no real planning for retirement other than trying to save some money and make sure that you have assets for yourself. But what does your retirement look like? And again, I've put these things here. You can read through them. Do you want to travel? Do you want to participate in long life learning? Do you want to spend time giving back to the community? And then how do you make that retirement look right? Or maybe you say, hey, I've done a lot of outdoor maintenance, indoor maintenance during my lifetime. I'm done with it. And you want to give that up and get out from underneath the work that's required of having a single family home. Maybe you want to be able to lock the door and be able to travel. Maybe you've lived in your neighborhood for 40 or 50 years and the neighborhood has changed and you don't know the folks that are your neighbors anymore. So maybe it's time that you move to a place where you'd have some nice friendly neighbors again that would be around during the day and would engage with you again. Maybe you want to be closer to areas where you can get outside and enjoy nature. Or maybe you want to be closer to cultural events where you can get into town to go to a movie or go to a performance by the symphony again. And maybe you need to be thinking about having close proximity to healthcare. We know that that's all very important as we get older. And at our last get together, we talked about the best things of life plan communities, which include housing, hospitality, healthcare, and the holistic wellness. We're not going to go through all of those again today, but I wanted you to remember what we're talking about when we're talking about life plan communities. And now we're really going to talk about what it costs to come into a community that is scheduled as a life plan community so that you can figure out that part of the equation for yourself. So again, we talk about life plan communities that have three major types of contracts. So this is an important part of how you finance it. So one is an extensive or life care contract, which is the type A, which gives you usually unlimited access to assisted living and health services with little or no extra fee involved. The second one is a modified contract, which is a type B. And this was designed mainly for people that have already planned for their retirement health care and they have long-term care insurance in place. So you've got the ability to know that there are those kinds of contracts out there available when you're moving to a life plan community. The third is a fee-for-service contract, which is called a type C. It offers a very much lower initial enrollment fee, but then if you ever do need healthcare, you're paying the market rate for healthcare services on an ad-need basis. And then the last one is one that's not very common, but it is out there. It's a type D, which is a rental agreement. Again, there can be a very low entrance fee that goes with it, but typically your monthly fees are much higher. But by living there, you are guaranteed access into healthcare if you ever need it, and you're paying the market rate at that point in time. So next, what's Providence Point? We're a life plan community operated by Baptist Homes. We are a not-for-profit providing charitable services here in the community. It's a type A community with a weighted life care fee. And it offers our residents a great lifestyle and a beautiful residence. And it has many amenities here in the community: a pool, dining venues, library, and programs for holistic and well-being of all of our residents. And we have that full continuum of care, which again is so indicative of a life plan community, providing you with personal care or memory support and skilled nursing if ever the need arises. So to come into a community such as a life plan community would offer you, there is typically an entrance fee. So the entrance fee typically is based on the size of the residence. So the smaller the residence, the smaller the fee. The bigger the residence, the larger the fee. Here at Providence Point, and this is typically the way it is at most communities, you have a different choices for entrance fees. And so here we've got 3. Some have 2, some only have 1, but at least you'll hear about how they work. A classic or a 0% refund amortizes over a period of 48 months. And at the end of that 48-month period, it would go down all the way to 0, so you're not getting anything back. The next is a traditional, which gives you a 50% refund. And what that means is it amortizes over a 24-month period to having 50% of the entrance fee that you've paid refunded to you or your estate when you leave the community. The third type of entrance fee is called the premier refund, or 90%. And what that means is that it amortizes over 3 months. And after that 3-month period of time, the 90% is refunded to you or your estate when you leave the community. So life plan communities can vary as to the refund amount, but you get the idea that they are out there and there are different styles available for you to choose. The entrance fee is typically paid in this manner. You pay it in 3 different installments. The first is $1,000 when you are actually selecting the apartment of your choice. While you do that, that gives you time to review all of the paperwork and understand what you're coming into. It gives us a chance to look at your paperwork and see, are you qualified? Are you of the right age to come into the community, for example? So that we're both doing a little bit of a dance to look and see, is this really what we want? The second part is 10% of the entrance fee once you've gotten past the 1,000 side of it. And that's when you're approved for residency in the community. And you say, yes, this is where I want to live. The third section is a 90% of the entrance fee when you move into the community. So it's paid over a period of time. Typically it can be over 30 days, or it can be over 60 days, or it can be over 90 days. It depends on you and your circumstances and which apartment you may have selected. One of the things you need to understand here with a life plan community also is that there is no deed or mortgage involved. And people say, well, that's really different. And it is, because remember, you're coming into a life plan community, and that gives you the right to be able to go into healthcare should you need to do that at some point during your stay at the community. And if you do, you don't want to be having to sell your apartment to someone else. So what you do when you come into a community such as ours, you're going to be signing the agreement. It's called a resident and services agreement, and it outlines everything that you are getting contractually with the community. And it gives you the ability to transfer where you need to be in the different stages of the community at the time you need it. So you cannot go and get a mortgage for this because there is no deed involved. And that makes it so you need to find a different way to be able to fund it. And the other thing you need to know that if you're a couple, there is a $25,000 second person fee that is not refundable. So why do you pay an entrance fee? Well, you're becoming a part of the community, a member of this organization, and it gives you the right to enjoy everything that's here. The pool, the fitness center, the theater, the library, woodworking shops, art studio, card room, concierge, anything that is in the public or commons area of the community is something that you will now be able to enjoy because you are a member of the community. And again, there's no deed that's transferred when we do this because you're going to be moving possibly as you live in the community into different areas of the community. And it does give you a place to live and to get care if you ever need it during your entire lifetime. Again, the entrance fee amount is a function of the size of the residence. So I want you to be aware that when you go to a different community for a life plan community, there are many options for you for housing. In particular, here at Providence Point, that we have 28 styles of floor plans available, and it's your choice to find the one that fits your needs, your wants, and your finances. This is a picture of a 2-bedroom apartment that we have here. It's called the Carbon. So now let's talk about what the monthly fee is. The monthly fee is paid, again, based on the size of the residence, and there is a first person and a second person fee that's involved with the monthly fees. There are 2 choices here at Providence Point. One is called the Life Care Plan, and the second is the Modified Plan. As we talked before, a modified plan is one where you already have long-term care insurance in place, and you can use that long-term care insurance should you ever transfer into the healthcare side of the community. The Life Care Plan is for folks that have not purchased a long-term care policy in the past. It gives them the ability to have controlled amounts that they pay when they go into healthcare should that need arise. And there it is. It talks about modified, and those people that do not qualify for life care are also eligible to come into the community under the modified program. Here at Providence Point, we actually offer what's called a weighted average rate for people that go into healthcare. And that seems to be the most fair and equitable way of doing it because all people that live in the community are paying the same amount if and when they go into healthcare. Here at Providence Point, that weighted average in 2021 is $5,048 a month in any level of healthcare, which has all private rooms. So you know what it's going to cost should you need to go into the healthcare side of the community. So here I've taken a Bradford style apartment, which is a 2-bedroom, 2.5 bath, and we're giving you the cost of the entrance fee. So on the left, it tells you what kind of an apartment it is. And the next column over to the right tells you on that classic or 0% refund, how much you would pay to come into that Bradford. The next column over is for the traditional or 50% refundable amount. And the last column shows the premier investment or the 90% refund. So that first line that has the Bradford apartment, that's the first person entrance fee. The second line under that is the second person entrance fee. And as you heard earlier, that's $25,000 for that second person coming in. So the total entrance fee for a couple coming into the Bradford style apartment is $376,300, traditional $477,300, and for the premier, it comes in at $597,800. Now, if this couple qualifies for life care and they don't have a long-term care policy, the first person monthly fee would be $4,552 all the way across the board. So again, because we're talking about the life care segment of the monthly fees, the second person is going to be the same all the way across also. And you'll see that's significantly reduced to $1,542. So that would give the life care couple coming into the community, they would be paying $6,094 all the way across. Does not matter which entrance fee program you come in under. Now, if this couple had purchased long-term care insurance, the first person modified fee is $4,040, again, all the way across the board. And the second person modified is $1,047 across the board. And they're coming in at $5,087. So what question always pops up after that is what happens when one resident moves permanently into our healthcare center and the other person stays in the apartment? Well, under these same scenarios, that monthly fee would stay the same for that first person, that $45.52 for the first person, on life care, and it would stay the same for the modified person, first person, 40, 40, 40. The second person, the top is what it is when they're both living independently. And in the yellow section there at the bottom is what happens when that person, one person leaves. So the first person would still be paying living in the apartment at that 45.52 under life care, or they would be paying 40.40 under the modified fee. The second person that has transferred over to the healthcare center, you'll remember we have that weighted average for life care, so that person is paying $5,048. Now, what I've done on the other side for the modified, because those folks are getting a discount off of the daily rate, and that daily rate is $398 a month for skilled nursing, and I'm putting in there that they're getting $200 a day on their long-term care policy. So that's where I get that $11,940. That's 398 times 30. And then the $200 a day times 30 days is 6,000. So that's what their long-term care policy would be paying, which means that their total end number would be $5,940 if they're on the modified program. So the next question that comes up always is, what happens when both residents move permanently into healthcare? So again, we've got the top segment showing what it is when they're both living independently in that blue section. We've just gone through that yellow section where one stays in the apartment and one stays in skilled nursing. But this down in the green at the bottom is showing that both of them have now gone into the skilled nursing area. So the life care people are both paying $5,048 because they're in healthcare, and that's the weighted average. And the modified people are paying, again, assuming that daily rate for nursing and the amount for the long-term care policy, that's $59.40 for each of those. So you can see the one's paying $10,000 and the other one's paying almost $12,000. Those are really staggering numbers when you sit back and look at them. I know everyone is always shocked when they see those, but you have to remember that if both of these residences were in healthcare anywhere else without being in a community like a life plan community, they would be paying that $11,940 rate, and it would be closer to being double that. So you've got almost 12,000 times 2 people in it. So it's $24,000. So really, when you look at this and you say, my goodness, under life care, I'm saving like $14,000 a month if both of us are there. That's quite a significant savings. Modified, you're again right back where you were, but again, you know where you're going to get your care. You know that you can both be together in the same community. And the other great thing here at Providence Point is that our healthcare is actually physically attached to our independent living. So down a long hall and through an air vac door system, you get into the healthcare side of the community, and you can visit during normal times, not during COVID, but during normal times, you would be able to go and visit your loved one if you were still living in the apartment and one of you was in healthcare. So now that you know how the monthly fees work, let's talk about how do you pay for those entrance fees. So in my years of working here in the community, what I see is people pay their entrance fee usually from the sale of their primary residence. Now, those of us that live here in Pittsburgh and have lived here for a long time, one of the best things about Pittsburgh is the affordability of housing. And you may not have quite enough to meet the entrance fee quota that we have here for the size apartment that you want. So some folks go into their cash, or they may sell some assets in their portfolio to make up the difference between the entrance fee and the what the proceeds they have on the sale of their home. Other folks may have a trust fund that they can go and access and pay the entrance fee. And if that money comes from a trust fund and goes back to the trust fund, usually that kind of a setup avoids probate and inheritance fees. So a lot of folks set up that kind of a thing before they come into the community. And again, as I said earlier, a mortgage cannot be used to finance the entrance fee because there's no deed to collateralize that with the mortgage company. Other people have actually gone to the bank and maybe issue a line of credit using their portfolio as collateral to generate some cash to finance their entrance fee if they don't necessarily want to cash out their portfolio at that moment. So there are lots of different ways to be able to pay for your entrance fee. The monthly fees are very, very inclusive. You know, when you look at the monthly fees that we talked about, one thing you have to remember is that it covers so many of your daily expenses. So it includes your utilities are covered, your basic cable television is also included. And in that monthly fee, you also get $491 per person per month that you can utilize in the dining venues. So we have a formal dining room, we have a casual dining room, we have a bistro cafe. So you can use that money however you determine. So there might be a day that you don't go down to dine. You may go out with friends, and that's fine. You're not missing a meal here at the community because you can make it up later because you decide where and when you're going to dine in the community. The other really big thing here with moving to a life plan community such as Providence Point, there are no real estate taxes. Remember, you don't have a deed, and we are a not-for-profit organization, so we do not pay real estate taxes. Instead, Providence Point pays what's called a payment in lieu of taxes. It's a pilot program, and we do pay our fair share to the community for our police and fire protection. It also includes the cost of one garage space with the residences that are in the apartments. And of course, the patio homes all have 2-car garages. You also get one locker space, scheduled transportation, landscaping and snow removal, maintenance and bi-weekly housekeeping, fitness center classes and everything that goes on there are also a part of your fees. And you also get 60 days per occurrence and 100 days per year at no additional room and board related costs. So those monthly fees are very, very inclusive. And there's a picture of our beautiful pool that is open with appointments, social distancing, and CDC sanitation protocols applying right now. So what's not covered in the monthly fee? Your telephone, your internet service, and you still maintain your insurances, Medigap, Medicare, prescription, dental, eye, long-term care insurance policies, your rental insurance for your personal possessions, and your car expenses. There are also substantial tax savings for residents, and those change each and every year. And I have tax letters that if you'd like to see those, that you can see how much they are. But for a single person, they are quite substantial, the deductions off of your federal tax return. And our marketing team is ready to assist you with making the choice that works best for you and your financial situation, your wants, and your needs.